Part 5. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 41. Confirming that all this was a false alarm, Kongji pretended to take a document and left the villa. In the villa halfway up the mountain, Ren received a message from Aunt Li and knew that Kongji had gone home. Aunt Li, you should go to bed early. I have asked someone to arrange for your grandson's transfer to another school. Aunt Li thanked him repeatedly. Thank you, miss, you should go to bed early too. What happened to Ruan Fengru really made him uneasy. As soon as he hung up the phone, Qingxian called in. Master Qingxian, is there any news about your master? Yes. During this period, Qingxian stayed in the city every day, which was not accustomed to him. The air in the city was polluted and not suitable for cultivation. But for the sake of his promise, he had been holding back. He prayed every day to receive news from his master, and today he got the news from a friend. Ren was happy. Where is he? As long as the fate was not resolved, her heart would be uneasy. Luck is invisible and invisible. Once it starts to affect you, even if you have done 100%, it will make you fail. My friend met my master in the southeastern Guizhou region. He is practicing in a Taoist temple in the countryside. I am going to go there and invite him to come. Okay, Ren thought for a while. I'll let Su Zheyin go with you. You two can take care of each other. Su Zheyin is a smart man. With his care, the young Taoist Qingxian who is not experienced in the world will not suffer any loss. Yet, good things happened one after another, and Ren's mood became better and better. He took out a piece of cake from the refrigerator to reward himself. Everyone thought that Kong Lian would not come to school the next day, but she came, still dressed beautifully, as if nothing around her could affect her. She really can bear it, Zhao Yi admired twice. If she doesn't come, she will appear guilty. Guo Tongwen pointed directly to the center of gravity. Haha, this is true. Lin Xiaoi followed. Kong Lian listened to the people around her talking about her, clenched her fists, and didn't feel any pain even when her nails were embedded in the flesh. She couldn't let people laugh at her, especially that bitch Ren. Can't hear, can't hear. She muttered to herself, self-sufficient brainwashing. On Saturday morning, Ren arrived at the gathering place early. She thought she came early, but she didn't expect that several buses were already full. Ren, this way. Zhao Yi called to Ren. After getting on the bus, the classmates' faces were full of smiles, and they were excited to discuss what activities to play on Mingshan Island. As the investor, Kong Lian dressed up beautifully and came on stage last. Kong Lian followed her mother's advice and prepared to win people's hearts. Although she suffered a loss, the money was destined to be spent, and naturally it had to be spent with value. With tens of millions of dollars, everyone should remember her kindness to offset the trouble Ren brought her this time. When everyone arrived, several buses took them to the dock. After boarding the luxury cruise ship, Kong Lian walked onto the stage, holding the microphone and smiling gently. I'm new to our school, and I don't understand a lot of things. If I've done anything wrong or not done well in this process, please tell me. I'm a straight-minded person and can't think straight. This made many people in the audience curl their lips and despise it in their hearts. But no one would show it at this time. Today I am honored and happy to have the opportunity to travel and learn with you all. The island's activities are all included in the 2 days, and you can enjoy yourself. If you need anything, tell the private butler on the island. Everyone must eat well, drink well, and have fun. Kong Lian observed the expressions of the students in the audience, and did not see the gratitude in their eyes, but the kind of indifference and self-righteousness. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 42. A bunch of people who eat and drink for free, and they don't know how to be grateful. She was angry, but she told herself in her heart not to bother with these poor guys. Huzia was the supporting actor. Seeing that the atmosphere was not enthusiastic, she stood up and applauded first. Others followed suit, but the applause was sparse. This made Kong Lian very angry. This was not applause, it was clearly a slap in her face. Kong Lian glanced at Huzia with dissatisfaction. This kind of applause is unnecessary. Kong Lian took a deep breath and adjusted his mentality. Oh, by the way, I have prepared a gift for everyone here. Everyone was in high spirits, and 90% of their eyes were focused on her. Seeing the effect, Kong Lian continued without keeping anyone in suspense, I have prepared a lottery game for everyone. Everyone scans the code to enter the lottery applet. The screen will display the avatars of the participants. When I press the switch, whoever the system stops at will win the prize. The prize this time is a free VIP experience card for Mingshan Island for 1 year. In the next year, you can come to Mingshan Island for free without spending a penny. Wow! That's so cool, someone in the audience exclaimed. Ah, this prize must be mine. MS Kong is so arrogant. MS Kong, you are the best. Someone in the audience shouted at her. Kong Lian finally showed a comfortable smile on her face. The atmosphere became heated, and the embarrassment just now seemed to have never happened. 10 lucky winners will be drawn this time. Now everyone can scan the code to participate. The QR code was projected on the big screen, and everyone took out their mobile phones to scan the code. Seeing Ren Ran didn't move, Zhao Yi said, Ran Ran, you don't scan. I'm afraid of being poisoned. As soon as he said this, Zhao Yi immediately put down his phone. Guo Tongwen followed suit and put down her phone. The students sitting next to them paused in their movements to scan the code. It was not right to scan or not to scan. Mao Zhen sat behind them and naturally heard their conversation. He quietly approached and asked in a low voice, Ren Ran, did you hear any rumors? The people around him pricked up their ears. There are no rumors, but it's better to be careful. After all. Ren Ran paused. Several people understood immediately. Zhao Yi and others silently put away their phones. Mao Zhen looked at the QR code on the stage, then at Ren Ran, and was reluctant to give up such a generous prize, but in the end he put away his phone silently. Hundreds of people, 10 places are drawn, and it is not certain that you can draw. Forget it, for safety reasons, I still don't scan. Kong Lian glanced at the screen on the stage from time to time, but never saw Ren Ran's account. She didn't participate. Kong Lian secretly said it was a pity. Has everyone scanned? I'll give you the last 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we'll start the lottery. 5 minutes later, the number of people was still not full, and there were still a dozen less. After the people below urged, Kong Lian started the lottery. When all 10 lucky winners were drawn, the cruise ship also arrived at the Mingshan Island Visitor Center pier smoothly. A group of people happily got off the ship, and the island's butler handled the check-in and check-in procedures for everyone, and introduced the island's projects in detail, and sent maps, travel guides, etc. attentively. The service was in place, which made everyone very satisfied. After arriving on the island, Ren Ran followed Zhao Yi and others to play several water projects. When it was time for dinner, Ren Ran went directly to the private butler. I remember that there is a water food service on the island, right? Yes. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, She Yet. Chapter 43. Then arrange this project. In addition, prepare steak for me. I only want Kobe Wajio. Prepare a bottle of Lafite for me. For dessert, prepare the Zhongshanruhua, the main dish in your hotel. Do you have all of these? Yes, the housekeeper smiled and nodded. Ren Ran looked at Zhao Yi and the others. What do you want to eat? Ran Ran, help me order. Zhao Yi had never been here and didn't know what was here, so this matter was left to professionals. Guo Tongwen and Lin Xiaoi nodded. They had never been to Mingshan Island. What do you like to eat? I can take care of it. I like hot pot, but I also want to eat seafood. Zhao Yi. I like seafood. Guo Tongwen. I like mountain delicacies. Lin Xiaoi. Ren Ran nodded. Prepare her a spider crab feast. And give her a portion of bluefin tuna, blue lobster, and yellow croaker. Is this enough for you? Ren Ran looked at Guo Tongwen. Guo Tongwen nodded in confusion. She had heard of tuna. She had never heard of blue lobster or yellow croaker. Zhao Yi was immediately moved when she heard the dishes Ren Ran ordered for Guo Tongwen. Can I change one? Ren Ran smiled and said, no, your spider crab feast is pretty good. If you really like it, just add one of her dishes. Then add one, Zhao Yi said excitedly. If someone treats you, you should eat it. When it was Lin Xiaoi's turn to order dishes, Ren Ran ordered a bunch of mountain delicacies, focusing on expensive and luxurious. When they were ordering dishes, Mao Zhen and others happened to be beside them. When they heard the dishes they ordered, their eyes were full of stars. We want the same one too. The housekeeper in charge of them was slightly stunned. Mao Zhen was puzzled when he saw that he didn't say anything. Ren Ran noticed, does your huge Mingshan Island only have one ingredient? I remember Mingshan Island Hotel has a rule that ingredients like this should be prepared in several portions. The housekeeper didn't speak, and the housekeeper in charge of Ren Ran smiled and said, of course not. I will arrange for someone to prepare it right away. The group got on the floating boat, and when the delicious dishes were served, Zhao Yi and the others were shocked. This is crab meat shawanmushi. This is crab meat salad. This is crab meat and sea urchin jelly. This is crab leg tempura. As the dishes were served, Zhao Yi opened his mouth slightly. Is this the spider crab feast? Don't just look at it, eat it. Ren Ran smiled. No, I have to take a picture first. The three of them took pictures of their own luxurious lunches, and also took pictures of Ren Ran's portion. Lin Xiaoi couldn't wait to share the food on WeChat Moments. But Guo Tongwen sent the photos to the class group. Zhao Yi was even more amazing. Not only did he post on WeChat Moments and the class group, he even did not miss the campus network. The students who were eating buffet at the hotel were excited when they saw the dazzling array of dishes. Wow, it's Australian lobster. Salmon. This is crystal grapes, so expensive. Everyone was amazed by the luxurious configuration. Many students took out their mobile phones and started taking pictures and posting them to Moments. Kong Lian did not go downstairs, but stood in the box upstairs, looking at the scene below, with the corners of her lips raised. These country bumpkins. She knew that these people were easy to fool, and the only one who was hard to fool was Ren Ran. Fortunately, Ren Ran went to the water for dinner. Although the dishes she ordered were expensive, they were within her control. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 44. Kong Lian looked at the hotel manager. The next few meals will be based on this standard. A bunch of ignorant bumpkins, it's easy to deal with them. Okay. The manager's earphones rang with the report of the subordinates. Ms. Kong, there are a few people who want to order. Let them order if they want, don't tell me about this little thing. Kong Lian waved her hand indifferently. This time, she spent a lot of money, and it must be worth it. She must let everyone remember her kindness. The restaurant manager got permission and immediately gave orders. Ms. Kong, your meal is ready. Please follow me. Kong Lian followed the manager away. In the buffet area, someone just sat down with a full plate of food, and heard bursts of exclamations from the people next door. What's wrong? What's wrong? Look at the circle of friends of Mao Zhen, Guo Tongguan, and others. People who knew each other looked through it, and people in the same class had red eyes after seeing the dishes they posted. Oh my God! How come they eat so well? Why do they eat differently from us? People from other classes saw the news on the campus network, and through the spread of other students in Renran's class, they gradually saw their extremely luxurious food. Boss, look. Fuyan looked at the food in the picture and looked at the others. Do you want to eat? Of course. Fuyan immediately called the private butler, make a set according to their standards. The private butler had received the order and nodded with a smile, okay, arrange it right away. Seeing this, the others found the person in charge and asked to change the set meal. Some students saw that other students were still eating buffets, and immediately went over to remind them, don't take it, there are better ones over there. After watching it, everyone felt that the buffet was not fragrant. Those who were full only hated that they couldn't eat anymore, and those who hadn't eaten were looking forward to it. Everyone was full and started the island trip. Kong Lian was also pulled by Hu Xinyu and others to walk on the island. Miss Kong, where are you going? Miss Kong. Kong Lian. Everyone they met greeted Kong Lian with a smile. Kong Lian could feel the change in their attitude and felt relieved. Her mother was right. If you have to spend money, you have to spend it worthwhile. Squad leader Mao Zhen and his friends found Renran and asked quietly, Renran, what are you going to eat tonight? Looking at the looks of those people, they knew what they were thinking. You are going to learn from Renran. Mao Zhen laughed, Renran is well informed, of course you have to learn from him. Renran looked at Zhao Yi and his friends. Zhao Yi and his friends directly said that they would follow her steps and listen to her arrangements. Since they were listening to her arrangements, Renran directly printed out a menu, the menu is sent to you. Mao Zhen took out his mobile phone and almost drooled when he saw the menu. What about the moonlight on the lotus pond, the picture of the auspicious crane, the picture of the spring outing with Siberian sturgeon caviar, the picture of Fukun mountain residence made with top-grade Wagyu beef, etc. In less than 10 minutes, this menu was circulated among the students. Boss, a new menu is out. Fuyan took a look and said, it's okay. Brother, are we going to follow this tonight? Fuyan waved and called the private butler, bring a menu. Before the private butler left, Fuyan reminded him again, don't take what you should have. The butler was stunned and could only nod. The others were all confused when they saw this. Boss, what does this mean? Is the menu here divided into levels? What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 45. Fuyan rolled his eyes at him, what do you think? Although he has never been to this resort, the lunch and evening menus already speak for themselves. Woko. Isn't this the legendary yin-yang menu? Wang Hu stared at him. What are you doing? The Kong family member said that they are all of the highest standards. How dare you fool us here? Fuyan leaned back, put his hands behind his head, and said in a lazy voice, that girl is not a fool. Wang Hu snorted coldly, that woman doesn't do things openly. It would be nice to eat some. Fuyan didn't say much. That night, many people took the menu passed from Mao Zhen's hand and ordered dishes according to the standard. Yes, just follow this. The waiter was about to say okay, but the chef's prompt came from the headset and the ingredients were gone. The waiter smiled and said, sorry, all the ingredients on this menu are gone. You can move to the buffet or choose other dishes. Several girls wailed, but did not dwell on the issue. Where's the menu? Just scan the code. Several girls scanned the QR code to order, and one of them was confused, hey, Why don't you have those dishes on the menu? The waiter was stunned, then explained with a smile, we will remove the dishes that cannot be ordered as soon as possible. Several girls nodded, only feeling regretful that they couldn't eat it, but they didn't say anything else. The same situation happened at another table. What? Why don't you prepare enough ingredients for such a big resort? These ingredients need to be booked in advance, and the hotel only prepares a dozen or so on a regular basis. What do you mean? You don't mean to give us the highest standards? Wang, who happened to pass by their house, and said, I still don't understand this. They are just talking about it, but they really take it seriously. The food available now is pretty good. The waiter kept a smile on his face and tried hard to explain, sorry, we didn't think carefully. We will improve it in the future. Such things are happening in every corner of the restaurant, and whether it is of the highest standard is also spread among the students, and everyone has a different opinion. Several waiters also complained in the corner. The quality of some high school students is really poor. They don't understand anything and just talk about it. The resort has a false reputation. Don't be like these kids. They don't know that these are all orders from above. Just give them this. No, I don't understand anything. If the person who is treating us really has the highest standards, wouldn't he know these things? Wouldn't he be prepared? To put it bluntly, he wants to be famous and save money at the same time. Let's see through it without telling it, but don't let it slip and let those students know. Hey, really, why should our resort take the blame? 2 days passed with patience. I'm not saying that. Although the standard is not the best, it is not bad. Everyone is picky and ignorant. Don't say that. When you see good things, you want to try them and eat them freshly. It's normal. Don't you want to? Cut. The two left, but several high school students heard their words clearly. Ren Ran, Mao Zhen and others were dining in the Sky restaurant on the top floor, when someone made a wow wow sound. Guo Tongwen excitedly took out her mobile phone and said to Ren Ran, of course, the restaurant downstairs is busy. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she Mo yet. Chapter 46. What happened? Don't everyone else know the menu we ordered? In the evening, we will directly follow the order on this menu. The people in front can still have a share, but the people who are a little later will not have a share. Then, some people heard the waiters complaining that Kong Lian did not prepare them according to the highest standards, but at ordinary levels. They also heard that the waiters said behind their backs that they were ungrateful and complained that they were idiots who didn't understand anything. A lot of people are furious right now. Since the teacher came out to maintain order, it was not easy to speak for Kong Lian. Ren Ran certainly wouldn't miss it if there was such a lively scene. It was a lively place to watch in a large group. Good guy, the news keeps rising without stopping, 99 plus information every minute. If you can't do what you say, then don't do it. Tell us honestly, we won't say anything. How can you play tricks on us like this? Perhaps people just think we're so stupid. You don't know what the waiters talk about us. Oh. Don't worry about it. It's good to eat some. Yeah, don't say a word. After all, it didn't cost a penny. You guys are really funny. It's too much to scold the other person after they have paid for it. Why did she pay? It's upstairs, don't you know? She paid because she lost. If you want to be grateful, you should be grateful to Ren Ran. I don't accept Kong Lian's affection, I accept Ren Ran's. The two of them bet against each other. Logically, the fruit of victory is for Ren Ran, but Ren Ran shared the fruit with everyone, so we should thank Ren Ran, not Kong Lian. Hu Zio and others stayed by Kong Lian's side, so naturally they ate the best. But now everyone can't eat. Kong Lian naturally also saw the news in the large group, especially when he saw many people saying thank you to Ren Ren instead of her, and his blood pressure continued to rise with anger. You guys eat. Kong Lian stood up. Hu Zia wanted to say something, but her face looked ugly and she kept her mouth shut. Kong Lian went directly to the resort general manager. Manager Wang, my reputation has been damaged because of your lack of food preparation. How is your hotel going to deal with it? She asked with a cold face. Manager Wang smiled and said, Ms. Kong, I told you about the situation in advance. We can adjust the ingredients to prepare, but because it is urgent, the cost will be more expensive than normal. You think it is not cost effective, so you don't agree. Besides, you said it yourself at the time, prepare enough for them to fool them. It makes no sense to blame them now. There is a problem now. I am here to solve the problem for you, not for you to raise questions. Manager Wang smiled and said, we can now transfer from other suppliers and hotels, but the price will be higher than before. When can I be transferred? I'm sure everyone can eat it at noon tomorrow. Okay, let's adjust it. Okay, Manager Wang agreed with a smile. Kong Lian said, explain to everyone that the lack of food preparation this time is because your hotel did not think carefully. Do you understand what to do? Clear. Kong Lian left with satisfaction. After she left, the door at the back opened. Ren Ren walked out of the room and sat on the sofa chair. Manager Wang shouted respectfully, Miss. It's really hard for you. Manager Wang smiled and said, this is what I should do. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Yet. Chapter 47. If it weren't for Gao Ying's reminder, she wouldn't have known that Mingshan Island was owned by her grandmother's best friend's family. Grandma still has shares in it, and now that share is in her hands, which means she is one of the shareholders of Mingshan Island. Without affecting the reputation of Mingshan Island, I had to trick Kong Lian, but I took great pains. You have to be prepared for this, lest they bite you back, Ren Ren reminded. Don't worry, young lady, the group's legal department is not a vegetarian. Not everyone can take a bite, let alone that they are fully prepared for this matter. After Ren Ren got what he wanted, he quietly left the office. The next day, during the morning meal, every waiter told them responsibly that it was their fault that the ingredients were not adequately prepared yesterday. Today's ingredients are brought in from other places overnight and can be eaten openly. The hotel has put all the responsibilities on them. As for whether students will believe this reason, it can only be said to be a matter of opinion. At noon, all the students ordered the ingredients they had prepared, and everyone was very happy to eat. Kong Lian came to the restaurant specially and explained yesterday's situation to everyone in a gentle voice. Some people listened carefully and kept nodding. Someone comforted her and told her not to worry about it, saying that they didn't take it to heart. Most of them lowered their heads, ate silently, did not express their opinions, and pretended not to notice when Kong Lian looked at them. Kong Lian observed everyone's expressions and tried hard to keep a smile, but the smile looked a little forced. Kong Lian, aren't you going to eat? Hu Zio saw her walking out and asked. She turned around and said, you guys eat, I'm very full, I'm going outside to get some air. Good. Tanjia glanced at Hu Zio and said, just eat what you have. Bang. Kong Lian pushed open the door of the general manager's office again, with an angry face and a slightly colder tone when he spoke. How did you do public relations? Why didn't you satisfy them? Manager Wang was not angry and said patiently, Miss Kong, don't worry, we have asked the people below to do the questionnaire survey, and I believe we will be able to give the answer soon. If it is our hotel's fault that causes customer dissatisfaction, I will give you a satisfactory answer. What do you mean? Are you saying that they are dissatisfied with me, not your hotel? Ms. Kong, calm down first. Anger cannot solve the problem. Kong Lian didn't even look at the tea he handed him. I'm telling you, if you don't satisfy me this time, don't expect me to pay any subsequent payments. The smile on Manager Wang's face faded a bit. Ms. Kong, if you say that, then there is no need for us to talk anymore. I will let the group's legal department talk to you. You threaten me? Manager Wang smiled and said, No, 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 you misunderstood. The follow-up questions you just mentioned are beyond the scope of my responsibilities. The legal department is responsible for this business. Kong Lian is a teenage girl after all, so she is no match for these old foxes in the workplace. After being suffocated by Manager Wang, instead of venting her mood, she became even more depressed. She returned to the room and called Ruan Fengru. Mom, her voice was choked with sobs as soon as she opened her mouth, and she was about to cry. Things aren't going well. Ye Kong Lian told what happened. At the end, he said angrily, it's all because of that bitch Ren Ran. If it weren't for the menu she gave, things wouldn't have developed to that point. Mom, I'm at odds with her. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo she mo yet. Chapter 48. Mom, what do you think I should do? Now only a few people are grateful to me, but most people don't buy it, and many people even think it's Ren Ran's credit. After she finished speaking, she found that her mother had not responded, and she couldn't help but urge her. Mom, why don't you say anything? What do you want me to say? Say you are stupid, or say you are petty? What did I tell you before? I said I would spend money, so I spent it. But what did you do? In order to save that little money, you left a handle for manipulation. Ruan Fengru suddenly realized that her daughter had not experienced enough. You should have asked the hotel to seal up all the reserved top ingredients. If you can't do it, you should tell everyone in advance, or prepare enough to deal with emergencies. Or use other means, such as lottery, to put those top ingredients in the open. Look at yourself, what did you do? A good hand of cards, let you play like this. Ruan Fengru's voice was full of anger. Kong Lian hasn't felt her mother's anger for many years. Mom, I was wrong. I shouldn't put myself in a passive position just to save money. Stupid, Ruan Fengru was very angry. Losing the big for the small. In order to fill the hole of her gambling, she put all her savings of many years into it. I thought that after contacting people and things were settled, I would let her handle some small things to exercise her ability, but I didn't expect that she was not worthy of being reused. If she didn't look like me, I couldn't help but wonder if I had taken the wrong child. Not only did they waste this money, but they also got into trouble. They became the scapegoat and didn't get any benefits. Mom, what should we do now? How can we turn the situation around? Don't do anything now, and talk about it after you come back. Okay. When it was afternoon, everyone happily took the cruise ship back to the city. Only one person had a smile on his face, but his mouth was like he had eaten Huanglian, and he had a lot of pain. At the exit of the pier, a Cullinan was parked by the pier, and an old butler stood in front of the car, looking at the exit. Kong Lian and her group walked at the front. Hu Zio saw the Cullinan and tugged at her sleeve. Kong Lian, is your housekeeper here to pick you up? Hey, they changed the car this time. Tanjia's eyesight was better than Hu Zio's and she saw the difference. Kong Lian was about to say no when she heard Zhao Yi's voice from behind. That Cullinan is great. I wonder how it feels to sit in it. I'll take you for a ride. The four walked past them and headed for the Cullinan. Hu Zio realized that she had made a mistake and timidly glanced at Kong Lian. Seeing that she was not angry, she couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. It just so happened that the nanny car that Ruan Fengru arranged for her was parked next to the Cullinan. Miss Kong, the driver, shouted enthusiastically when he saw Kong Lian. Kong Lian looked at the Lexus nanny car. Although it cost more than 2 million yuan, it was not at the same level as the Cullinan. The driver is here to pick me up. I'll go back first. Okay, bye. Several people waved goodbye to her. Kong Lianyi got into the car, and her face instantly darkened, especially when she saw the people next to her happily getting into the Cullinan. She yelled to the driver in frustration, "Drive." The driver was stunned, not knowing how he had offended her, but adhering to the principle that the customer is God, he drove away without saying a word. A few minutes later, the Cullinan drove past their car. Under the half-dropped window, she didn't know if it was her illusion, but she saw Ren Ran smiling at her. There was a hint of provocation in that smile. No, it was more like a mockery. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo Shi Mo Yet. Chapter 49. King Hebei. Kong Lian lowered her head and stood to one side, not daring to look at her mother. Ruan Fengru was inserting flowers carelessly, without making a sound, and there was a sense of depression in the air. Sit down. Kong Lian sat cautiously opposite, watching her mother cut off the blooming flower mercilessly, and her body shivered unconsciously. Have you thought about what to do next? I have thought about it. Say it. The first time she created a white, rich, and beautiful persona, she failed. The second time she helped her classmates and gained a good reputation, but not only did she fail, but she failed again. The third time she dug a pit for the other party and fell into the pit herself. The fourth time she wanted to restore her reputation and win favor, but she backfired again. She made several moves in a row, but each time ended in failure, and her reputation developed in a bad direction. The people around her are all people who want to gain benefits from her. She can use such people, and others can also use them, so their value is not high, far less than the reputation and value of other people. I plan to surpass her in study. During this period, in order to shape the image and to step on her, I wasted a lot of study time. With my own achievements, I will definitely be able to crush her. Other things can fail, but the knowledge learned will not fail. Ruan Fengru nodded in agreement. Seeing her mother nod, Kong Lian breathed a sigh of relief. Continue. Kong Lian was stunned and did not speak. She thought hard again, and timidly said after a long while, "Mom, I can't think of it." Ruan Fengru put down the scissors in her hand, and uttered two words lightly with her red lips, "Praise to death." She was stunned, and it took a long time for her to understand her mother's intention. The enemy is strong, and you are weak. If you continue to rush forward blindly, you will only fall into the inferior position. Show weakness, praise the opponent, and then suppress her with absolute advantage. All the fame and honor she has accumulated before will be transferred to you. Remember, she is your stepping stone. The higher the status of the stepping stone, the richer the fruit you will finally pick. As Ruan Fengru spoke, Kong Lian's eyes widened, and her eyes were full of admiration when she looked at her. Ruan Fengru held her hand. Whether you can pick the final victory depends on whether you can step on her. Mom knows that you are very smart, and my daughter will definitely not let me down, right? In terms of grades, Kong Lian is still very confident. In the last monthly exam, she just performed normally and did not use her best. Once she goes all out, the first place will belong to her. Don't worry, Mom. I can do it this time. Ruan Fengru nodded with satisfaction. I have won you the qualification for the Mathematical Olympiad. Seize this opportunity and don't let me down again. Okay, Mom. I'll do the exercises. Go ahead. Sitting at the desk, Kong Lian took out the mathematical Olympiad exercises from the bookshelf with a firm look in his eyes. Ren Ran, I will definitely step on you this time. He gathered his mind and began to concentrate on doing the exercises. In the villa area of the hillside, Ren Ran got off the car and received a call from Su Zayin. Ms. Ren, we have arrived in southeast Kazhu. Have you found someone? Su Zayin paused. I have good news and bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Ren Ran paused. What's the bad news? When we arrived at the Taoist temple, Taoist Tegzu was traveling again half a month ago. Ren Ran. Some heart attacks. What's the good news? What should I do if someone takes away my fate? I will just kill her. Author, Mo She Mo Yet. Chapter 50. Master Tegzu left the address of the next stop. Where is the next stop? Ren Ran was holding her breath, not knowing whether to go up or down. The Tibetan area. We don't know where he is now. We plan to wait in Tibet. Ren Ran heard the deep helplessness in their voices. Perhaps this was fate. She took a deep breath and adjusted her mentality. Master's phone is not turned on yet. Yes. You continue to follow him. I am worried about him being alone. She dared not leave Qingxian alone in the Tibetan area. She was really afraid that she would lose him if she didn't find the master. Is the money enough? Enough. After ending the call with Su Zayin, Ren Ran couldn't help rubbing her eyebrows. Who are you talking to? Suddenly, her father's voice came from behind her, which frightened her so much that she shivered and her phone fell to the ground. What's wrong? Konglji looked at her in surprise. Ren Ran quickly recalled what she had said when she was talking to Su Zayin just now. After confirming that she had not revealed any information about Master Qingxian and others, she slowly let go of her heart. Seeing him squatting down to pick up the phone for her, Ren Ran squatted down quickly and picked up the phone before he picked it up. She took the initiative to ask, Dad, do you know that scaring people can scare people to death? Did you do something wrong? Look how scared you are, Konglji joked. When Ren Ran heard this, his heart was instantly lifted, but he pouted his mouth and stared at him with dissatisfaction. Dad, you are complaining first. I will tell Mom and let her make the decision for me. Little ancestor, isn't it okay for Dad to be wrong? Konglji smiled and begged for mercy. Ren Ran raised his chin and snorted at him. That's better. Dad, did you bring me any gifts when you came back from North City? As they talked, they walked into the house. Dad was too busy and didn't have time to bring it. Dad, you must not love me anymore. Ren Ran left him angrily and went upstairs. You kid. Ren Suya stepped forward and took the briefcase from his hand. Why does she suddenly want a gift? She never did that before, Konglji asked in confusion. Ren Suya's eyes flashed with mockery, and she smiled as she looked up and said, Don't blame her. There is a transfer student in their class, and her family is well off. Her father often brings her gifts when he comes back from a business trip. When did my daughter learn to compare? This is not a good habit. Konglji frowned. I have to go up and talk to her, and she has to change this bad habit. Ren Suya felt pain in her heart, for her daughter, and even more for her own efforts over the years. Change what? Her voice was unconsciously filled with anger, and she really couldn't help it. Konglji paused and looked at her in surprise. Wife, what's wrong with you? You don't ask the reason, and directly determine that your daughter is wrong. Is she so unbearable in your eyes? Ren Suya stared at this man, the man she has loved for more than 20 years. At this moment, she felt very strange, as if she had never known him before. I have encountered this situation before, why have I never found it wrong? Or just like my daughter said, when the filter of love is taken off, everything will return to its origin. Konglji was stunned, and went forward to hold her hand, but she shook him off. "Honey, I was wrong," he began to beg for mercy, humble, "I was inconsiderate and didn't ask about the whole thing. Don't be angry, it will hurt if you get angry. If you feel bad, just hit me. Don't be angry, don't hurt yourself."